Now on Coast TV News.
A steamy Sunday on Delmarva after hitting 91 in Georgetown. We had a round of scattered showers and storms pass through. More showers and storms to come through the evening before another round of some sweltering heat. We'll track the storm chances coming up.
One dead and one arrested. What Delaware State Police say happened yesterday in Milton. Delaware State Fair assaults. What troopers say happened on Friday in Harrington.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson. Welcome to Coast TV News at 6. We begin tonight with new details released about a hit and run in Milton. On your screen now is where Delaware State Police say a 22-year-old hit a 67-year-old bicyclist on Sand Hill Road just before Burton Road in Milton. DSP says the 67-year-old man was transported to a nearby hospital where he was later pronounced dead. According to troopers, Terry Calloway, the driver, drove away from the scene. DSP said they found Calloway a mile away from the crash with damage consistent to a hit and run on his car. Troopers say the 22-year-old had alcohol odor coming from his breath and was found to have with a DUI. And two people are facing charges after an assault at the Delaware State Fair on Friday. State police say 28-year-old Caitlin Scott of Lincoln pepper sprayed a woman near Gate 7 following an argument involving a 26-year-old Milford man. Investigators say the victim had been asked to be dropped off at the Harrington Casino, where the man allegedly forced her out of the car as she reached back in her purse for pepper spray to then use it. Both suspects were later arrested in Milford. Scott is charged with felony assault and was released on bond. For a full article on the deadly Milton hit and run and the Delaware State Fair assaults, you can head right now to coasttv.com. And we're now going to take a live look into Rehoboth Beach. A few people enjoying the boardwalk there and bringing our first alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Brandon. Boy, it is like a steam bath out there. We had temperatures get to up to 91 in Georgetown. Now, we had a round of showers and storms pass through about 2 hours ago. Those have since pushed off the coast. We're seeing the steadiest rain right now extending from Ocean City down through Pocomoke City and Crisfield. Nothing severe, maybe some rumbles of thunder there. We did have one severe thunderstorm warning in Dorchester County, another one in Talbot County. The one in Talbot County, we reported a tree down there on Route 50 and Bay Acres Drive. Other than that, we haven't seen any severe weather across Delaware. We have this broken line of showers and storms extending from Baltimore through Newcastle County into South Jersey. Keeping an eye on this as it slides to the southeast. Over the next few hours, the main core of the severe threat has taken place across Virginia and North Carolina. You can see a pretty broad severe thunderstorm warning pushing southeast there. Now, as we go through the evening, can't rule out an isolated severe storm. Storm Prediction Center has that marginal risk very low. Shower and storm threat will be ending through the evening. Some patchy fog develops very muggy overnight. Stifling heat and humidity really Monday through Thursday, feeling like 103 to 110, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. A big cool down by the end of the week as we go into next weekend. You can see temperatures pretty rain cooled. We are in the lower to mid 80s across the area. Expect a few showers and storms over the next few hours, and then we'll begin to dry out. A very muggy night ahead. Brandon will track the storms and talk more about the heat and humidity coming in early next week.
Thank you, Chris. And on your screen now was the fiery scene at the intersection of Shortley Road and East Piney Grove Road in Georgetown. Crews worked quickly to bring that fire under control. No injuries were reported, and the cause of that fire on your screen still remains under investigation. Early voting continues tomorrow for the District 20 special election. Democratic Alana Berry and Republican Nikki Miller want to represent the 20th District. Representative Stell Parker Selby, who was missing from the recent legislative session, resigned because of health concerns. The winner of this special election will serve the remainder of Selby's term, which will end in November of next year. Early voting is tomorrow and Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Election Day is August 5th here in Sussex County. And on your screen right now is a map of District 20, the areas outlined there. Some of them cover Milton and parts of Lewis, as well as Harbison and Georgetown. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what matters to you most in this special election. Let's take a look at the updated results from last night at 11. So far, that majority staying put at 68% on candidate integrity and 19% on stance on growth. And we actually have a comment tonight from Carla Johnson. She says you need to have a trustworthy candidate who will be consistent in their message and actions. And if you haven't voted yet or you want to leave a comment, you can right now on CoastTV.com or on our mobile app. We'll show you updated results at 11. And get ready for one of the Eastern Shore's most iconic traditions, the Chincoteague Pony Swim. Watch live as the Saltwater Cowboys guide the wild ponies across the Assateague Channel to Chincoteague Island. Coverage begins at 7 a.m. this Wednesday on DSN and anywhere on DSN+. Don't miss the tradition, the excitement, and the magic of the pony swim only on DSN.
And we're looking pretty hot for that pony swim. I'll have the forecast coming up a bit later, but it is downright tropical out there this evening. Can't rely on an isolated storm over the next few hours, and then that storm threat will end through the overnight. We'll likely see some fog develop. We'll talk more about the heat and humidity building in tomorrow in that full 7-day forecast here in just a few moments.
The European Union, a trade deal made with the U.S. What President Trump said today in Scotland about that deal, that's coming up.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
President Trump has negotiated a major trade deal with the European Union, ending with which has been months of uncertainty surrounding trade with the United States' largest trade partner. The president making the announcements following a high-stakes meeting with EU officials in Scotland. It's a trade agreement that will set tariffs at 15% across the board. That rate is a reduction from the 30% that Trump had previously threatened. As part of the deal, the European Union has agreed to purchase $750 billion in U.S. energy and to also purchase military equipment, although the dollar amount has not been placed just yet.
I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games and maybe not making a deal at all. I think it's, I'm going to let you say, but I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
President Trump is calling for former Vice President Kamala Harris and the celebrities who endorsed her presidential candidacy to be prosecuted. Trump claims the Democratic Party funneled millions of dollars to high-profile figures so that they'd support Harris in the last election cycle. While the president has offered no evidence to support, he did take to Truth Social from Scotland today to allege Beyonce, Oprah, and Al Sharpton all received millions in illegally for their support for the president in what he calls a major investigation into Harris for celebrities' endorsements and performances.
Well, once we clear out the showers and storms this evening, yeah, more of the same old heat and humidity, feeling like well over 100, really Monday through Thursday. We get a cold front late week, which we'll talk more about, and the big cool down in that full 7-day forecast when Coast TV News at 6 continues. Well, a soggy and kind of soupy look into Ocean City after hitting 85 there today. We cooled to 80. We had some rain that just passed through. Folks making their way back onto the boards. Very soggy and damp out there. Can't rule out another isolated shower or storm through the evening, but a very tropical-like evening with temperatures right around 79 by around 10 o'clock. We're at 83 in Rehoboth, 84, Lewis 83 to Milford, and we are at 82 in Seaford. Look at those dew points. Upper 70s to low 80s. Very tropical-like, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to be very humid, really tropical-like through Thursday, and then look at that drop as we go into Friday, all thanks to a cold front that's going to be pushing through. It looks like Thursday and the Friday kind of getting more and more delayed as we go through the week. Now, there's that rain that pushed through the coast just a short hour ago, and then you can see some steadier rain just south of Ocean City through Chincoteague, and we're keeping a close eye on this cell coming out of PA, Lancaster County, dipping into Newcastle County. That area is going to slide to the southeast, but we're drying out pretty good across western Pennsylvania. Cold front sliding southward. High pressure is going to be building in through the start of the week. Now, we have that isolated threat of a severe storm really for the next few hours, and then that threat's going to kind of wane. So you can see by 9 o'clock, maybe another shower storm pushing over Rehoboth and Dewey Beach, and then a few scattered showers into about 11 o'clock, and then we pretty much shut the storm threat off overnight. Some areas areas of fog develop. We're at 73, very tropical-like, muggy with an east-southeast wind about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Plenty of sunshine once we burn some early morning fog off. We're going to be in the lower 90s tomorrow, feeling like 100 to 103. 92 Milford, 91 Seaford, 91 Cambridge, we'll see 91 Salisbury, and 90 Pocomoke City. So there's the 90s tomorrow afternoon, and another warm night tomorrow night, only dipping into the mid-70s, some areas of fog, and then mid-90s by Tuesday, mid to upper 90s by Wednesday. Feeling like anywhere between 100 to 103 Monday, and then we're going to bump those heat indices 101, 105 into Tuesday, and then even higher into Wednesday. We could exceed 108, maybe close to 110, and I think we squeeze one more day of triple-digit heat indices out Thursday before that front moves through. So we peak at 96 Wednesday, and then look at that cool down as we go into Friday, 81 degrees. Now we're still looking very nice for the 100th annual Chicotee Pony Swim, 88 degrees, mostly sunny skies there. So there's the front coming through. Looks like Thursday into early Friday morning, scattered showers and storms, and then behind the front, northerly winds kick in, drying us out and suppressing the humidity. It's going to feel really good as we usher in August. Dew points, 50s and 60s. I mean, we're in the 70s and 80s as far as the dew points are concerned right now, so we're really going to see that humidity really diminish once we get into Friday. So we're at 96 Wednesday, so the heat continues really into Thursday with those heat indices as high as 105 to 110. Scattered showers and storms develop. We could see a few of those showers linger into Friday, and then by next weekend, look at those temperatures, Brandon, lower 80s with lower humidity, and that is certainly going to feel really good after this brutal stretch of heat and humidity.
Thank you, Chris. And still to come here on Coast TV News at 6, how the economy is affecting pet shelters. But first, Social Security checks are set to shrink. We have by how much and what year you should keep an eye on next. Some big cuts are coming to Social Security. The benefits could be on the horizon for some Americans. According to a new analysis from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, dual income couples may see $18,000 less per year if they retire in 2033. That's compared to if they retired now. The estimated 24% drop is due to a projected depletion of Social Security's Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund. Once the fund is completely depleted, the recently enacted Big Bill dictates that Social Security benefits will no longer be paid at the full rate. A typical single earner couple would face a cut of more than $13,000. Animal rescues and shelters across the country are reporting sharp increases in animals being surrendered. A number of shelters say the shift is due to financial hardship. Every aspect of owning a pet, from vet visits and food to beds, treats, and toys, has grown expensive in recent years. Some shelters, like the Animal Care Centers of New York, have reached a breaking point and suspended intake due to critical capacity issues. Coming up, RFK Jr. to dismiss all 16 members of a panel. We have that story next. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. plans to remove all 16 advisors from the Preventative Services Task Force. That's according to a report by the Wall Street Journal. The task force makes recommendations about preventative services like screenings for cancer and various disorders. The Affordable Care Act requires insurers to provide those recommended services to members at no cost. The Health and Human Services Secretary does have authority to name and fire members of that task force. What's unclear is who he would replace them with or if he would replace them at all. 2/3 of Americans who use Medicaid believe a new budget law will hurt their families. That's according to a new poll the KFF Health Tracking released on Thursday. Finds that 65% of Americans on Medicaid say the sweeping tax and budget law that President Donald Trump signed this month will hurt families. Only 1 in 5 say it will help. And we're now going to take a live look back into Ocean City. The sun's starting to creep out there, and after the break here on Coast TV News at 6, we have a final look at your forecast. Each Friday, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV. It's full of features, cool things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for a Feel Good Friday newsletter at coasttv.com/signup. Chris?
Yeah, and we're going to keep that storm threat in play through the evening. Very steamy out there. We're at 85 in Dover, partly sunny skies there. Again, keep that shower and storm threat really in play through about 10 o'clock, and then that threat should wane. We have one shower coming out of Pennsylvania, Maryland, about to push into Newcastle County. That's pushing to the southeast. We had another round of rain exiting the coast down through Chickateague, but drying out back off to the west, and we're going to be pretty dry and pretty hot tomorrow. 92, much of the inland area through the eastern shore, 91, 85 to 90 at the coast, feeling like 100 to 103 at times. You get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert weather phone, and your 10-day forecast shows the 90s really kicking into full gear here through midweek. 94 Tuesday, 96 Wednesday. Again, feeling like 105 to 110. I think we squeeze out one more 90-degree day Thursday ahead of that front that will bring a round of showers and storms that could linger into Friday. But behind that front, we see refreshing air roll in just in time as we start August next weekend. 80 degrees next Saturday, and there's some models, Brennan, even keeping us cooler than that.
Thank you for that, Chris, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6. For more news and local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. Be sure to join us tonight at 11. Until then, have a great night.